of Shabbat before we move into Havdalah in order to honor their memories and lasting legacies on our order.
Just like Shabbat is a significant part of our week, these leaders hold a significant presence in our greater Jewish community. When separating Shabbat from the rest of the week, we smell the bisamim to comfort us from the sorrow of Shabbat leaving.
Similarly to smelling the bisamim tonight, we will tell the stories of Bert Brown, Rita Vaughn, Danny Bobus, and Rosie Friedman, not to feel saddened by their memories, but rather to honor their lasting legacies in our order.
Our 4 inductees this year will be honored at Camp Perlman, the location of IFCC in Cologne, every summer, with a plaque on the Memorial Grove in the large quad. The hundreds of teens participating in summer experiences will have the opportunity to acknowledge the inductees' significant impacts.
Please join us in remembering Bert, Rita, Danny, and Rosie.
Bert Brown of Maitland, Florida, had a long life commitment to Jewish organizations, especially youth-related ones. Growing up in McLeesport, Pennsylvania, the son of a founding father of the B'nai B'rith Lodge, he joined the local ACA chapter, which opened his vision to Jewish service. He participated in Hillel at the University of Pennsylvania, and while serving out his U.S. Navy commission in the South Pacific post-World War II, he did his best to observe major Jewish holidays in somewhat adverse conditions. He became active in B'nai B'rith, serving as president of his lodge, region, state, and finally District 5, spanning the Atlantic coast from Florida to Maryland. His committee assignments always included the Hillel Commission and BBYO. He brought his accounting expertise regarding pensions to ensure retirement security for employees of B'nai B'rith, BBYO, and Hillel. Despite health setbacks in 2009, he still found time to serve on the Finance Committee for the Jewish Community Center of Greater Orlando, see the Hillel at the University of Central Florida through major growth, and reach out to the local chapter in Orlando, Rebels ACA. His lasting legacy is the many volunteers and staff members at the JCC, BBYO, Hillel, and B'nai B'rith who knew him as a mentor and a friend, as well as the deep sense of philanthropy towards Jewish and humanitarian causes he imparted to his sons and grandsons.
Rita Mont of Chicago, Illinois was a woman of strength, dignity, knowledge, and love. Rita graduated from the University of Illinois with a secondary teacher's degree. She was a teaching fellow at the Washington State University and worked for many years at various hospitals in Chicago, New York, and Charlotte. Rita was involved in breakthrough work in cancer and rare disease. Rita was extremely active in the Jewish community, including leadership roles on a local and regional level in B'nai B'rith women. She began her involvement with B'nai B'rith as a teen in the B'nai B'rith Girls, which was a tradition then carried on by her daughters and granddaughters. She was a longtime member of Temple Israel and served on the Sisterhood Board. She also maintained a membership at Temple Bethel and serves on the executive board. Her most recent honor for her years of dedication in the Charlotte Jewish community was being designated a Jewish Woman of Strength, a unique, small group of women in Charlotte. Rita co-founded the Charlotte Jewish News and served as its full-time editor for many years. She remains active in the Jewish community and the paper as an advertising executive. Rita was a member of the U.S. and International Jewish Press Associations and received numerous awards for her writing, editing, and involvement.
Rosie Friedman was a very active member in Wisconsin Region BBG in the 1970s and remained involved throughout her adult life. Rosie was an amazing woman who leaves a legacy of friends and family who are richer for having known her. BBYO meant so much to Rosie as a teen and a longtime member and leader of the local commission and Friends and Alumni Network. Rosie served in just about every capacity as a BBYO volunteer and was even a CLDC leadership staff at Beaver. As a teen, advisor, and alumni leader, Rosie was truly a role model as a dedicated She left an amazing mark on this world that will not be forgotten.
Last summer, Danny Bobus, a former member and Geesport of Long Beach AZA of the Nassau-Suffolk region, disappeared while surfing the large and unpredictable waves off the coast of Indonesia. He was only 32 years old. Before his body was recovered, Danny's friends organized several sad yet moving candlelight vigils on the boardwalk in his hometown of Long Beach. Hundreds of people, young and old, turned out to hear messages of hope and prayer that Danny would be found alive somewhere down the coast from the spot where he was last seen. There were television crews and other local and national media in attendance. Money was raised for the search and rescue efforts. The outpouring of tears, love, and concern for him from the community was unprecedented.
Danny was a part of a group of boys that reformed an AZA chapter that had folded several years before. He skateboarded to and from every meeting, regardless of how cold the weather. His sense of humor and irreverence would make meetings fun and enjoyable. Danny was very outgoing, and Jewish boys figured that if Danny was an AZA, they should be members as well. Danny was a beloved math teacher and taught in Long Beach High School. It was there that he created the surf club for teens in the high school, dedicated to the love and respect of the seashore, marine life, and ocean. He was also a drummer for a well-known metal band called Cypher, and recorded and played all over Long Island. He had been married to his lovely wife Rachel for 5 years, and they decided that after they returned home from their surfing vacation, they would start a family.
Danny's life was so full, which makes the tragedy of his loss so much greater.
The foundation they built for us as architects of the Jewish tomorrow is a powerful, sturdy one. We stand here today in the largest Teen Havdalah service of our movement's history. In fact, in any Jewish community's history. Rosie, Rita, Danny, and Bert have entrusted us with carrying on their legacy, to push forward the boundaries of what we think is possible, to reach for the highest heights for our movement and for the Jewish people.
Havdalah is a time in which we draw the distinction between the holy and the everyday, Bein Kodesh Lechol, which is significant given that it's a ceremony we perform on our own. More than simply separating the Sabbath from the rest of the day's week, Havdalah is a symbol of God's trust in mankind and the Jewish people, his expectation that we decide when to act in a holy manner, or whether we simply move with the stream of the everyday.
He asked us to be a light among the nations, and as Jewish leaders, it's time that we accept the challenge set before us in making a choice to be holy in our actions, to stand up when we know something is not right, to be a voice of reason and of good, to be deliverers of God's goodness unto the world.
Tonight, as we leave Shabbat, we are reminded of the board that drew the distinction between the holiness and everyday action. And although it wasn't always the easiest route to take, they chose to be holy and left us here today with the same expectation. Our movement is excited and prepared to take on such a challenge.